All right, everybody take a nice deep breath. Ready? Exhale. And I want you to listen to the lineup for the most recent game as of recording. Ready? We got starting off Luis Renifo, second base. Now Brandon Drury. Mickey Moniak, center field. Now Mike Fishman. Taylor Ward, left field. Sounds about right. Kyron Paris. Willie Calhoun, first base instead of Nolan Shamwow. Kevin Pillar at DH instead of literally anybody that they want. Matt the Ice as a catcher because Logan Gohapi had the day off. Joe Waddell at right field because Mickey Moniak sucks at pretty much anything else now. Zach Neto at shortstop and Luis Guillorme at third because Rendon's dead. Alrighty, I need you to grab a cold one, crack it open, and have a nice seat because we got a long discussion today. Yes. Welcome back to the Angels Monthly Review. Today we're going over the month of May. Good God Almighty, was this a god-awful month. But then again, so was April. So was the single day in March. So was pretty much most of spring training. Yeah, the Angels haven't done too hot, and right now I'm pretty much gonna be going over every single series that they played. And sweet Jesus, am I gonna dread this? There's a lot of lows, but they're in the same sentence. There's a lot of highs. Maybe a lot more lows than highs, but we'll get into that. So we start off the month, right? We got Cleveland, the Cleveland guys. We absolutely lost that series. I don't want to talk about it. All right, cool. Nice. Let's not talk about what happened in Cleveland. And up next, we got Pittsburgh. You want to know what happened in Pittsburgh? We got a series win, boys. That's right. The Angels won a series for the first time in the season since sweeping the freaking god-awful Marlins. We embarrassed the freaking Pirates so badly they had to call up Paul Skeens. They called up their top prospect because of the Angels. I say that's a win. On top of already getting, the series win. So that was pretty cool. We thought, hey, we're going to get some momentum going into the Kansas City Royals series, right? Wrong. That series was an absolute abomination, and I know because I went to the Mother's Day game. Yes, I decided, it'd be awesome if I treated my wife to going to an Angels game. Took the family, went. Had a great time until the Angels absolutely sucked a butthole. Literally didn't do pretty much anything until the last inning. And then again, they do that pretty much every single game. And literally from the 7th inning on, if the Angels are being blown out, they'll start to do something, and then they just won't live up to it. So that Royals game is essentially the same thing. I literally couldn't even enjoy my nachos because I was just watching absolute poverty unfold in front of me. It was not very fun. But yeah, it was pretty bad. I was surprised my wife didn't leave me right then and there after taking her to such a miserable game. But yeah, that was the Royals. Not very fun. You want to know what happened when St. Louis came to town? Totally didn't get swept. However, probably one of my most favorite things from the season so far happened, and that's the Wash and Guillorme controversy. So, picture this, right? You got guys at third and second, I believe. And you have Ron Washington, who's pretty old school in his ideals. He likes to win, like any other manager would. But Ron has a certain ding to it. Ron instructs Guillorme to bunt. Now, I forget who the pitcher was that time, but he kind of sucked absolute butt cheeks too. He was kind of like a B team reliever for them, if not their actual reliever. He's throwing balls 24/7. This man's all ball, no pee-pee, all right? That's what I like to say. All ball, no pee-pee. He's tossing these balls up like it's freaking nothing. He walks a bunch of people. Guillorme's right there. Ron says apparently to him, well, just go ahead and bunt the ball. So what does Guillorme try to do? Essentially what I believe happened is Ron said, regardless of what pitch he throws, you need to bunt this ball. If it's a ball in the other strike zone or the other batter's box, bunt over there. try to get make contact essentially in a bunt form. So what does Guillorme do? Guillorme tries his very hardest to, regardless of where the ball is, regardless of where the zone is, he tries to go and bunt the ball, and he gets a bunt off. However, the bunt is so dang close to the freaking catcher that the catcher picks it up, and for some reason, Zac Neto, the second coming of Mike Fishman, not really, I don't know, I just had nothing else to say. But Zac Neto comes in and gets tossed out because he's like 5 inches away from the freaking catcher. They're essentially about to just hug at this rate. He gets out, Guillorme gets out, essentially a double play. Bam, that's a waste of an inning. Game over. GG, no re. Ron Washington throws Luis Guillorme under the bus because he didn't bunt. What was he supposed to do? There are balls being thrown outside the freaking strike zone, so far out that the catcher has to literally move his entire body. What is Luis Guillorme supposed to do? Honestly, answer me this. What is he supposed to do when the ball's all the way out there and you want him to bunt? He can't swing for it because whatever he does, he's not going to make any sort of contact. He's not going to be able to stretch out enough. There's nothing you can do besides what happens in Chicken Little? Take the ball, don't swing. Everyone else was capable of taking the ball and not swinging except for Luis Guillorme. No, Ron wants Luis Guillorme to bunt the ball. And I'm not even gonna lie. I swear to God, maybe I just deleted all the other footage from all the other games out of my mind. But I swear, Luis Guillorme is the only person that Ron wants to bunt. Maybe I just haven't seen enough Luis Guillorme in my lifetime to know if he's a good bunter or not. But on the Angels, don't make Luis Guillorme bunt. That was the highlight of that series. That was the highlight. Other than that, hey, we beat the sweep allegations, all right? Oh, God, I need some water after that. Good Lord. So we head to Texas because we got Texans back-to-back. That's right. We got the Rangers and the Astros. The reigning world champions and the cheaters. Obviously, we got swept both series, right? No. Wrong. We won the series. Take it right. We could have swept both teams either times. Yes, there are these two games you can lump together as like a very long 6-game series because mainly they're both in Texas, but they're both kind of trash at the moment. And it all comes down to one game you would have excellent bats, horrible pitching, and the other game you would have horrible pitching, excellent bats. That's literally all it came down to. They even went to extras. How do you go into extras against the Los Angeles Anaheim Angels of Southern California, the freaking regions of America, the Avengers? How do you go into extra innings with this godforsaken team? I don't know how that's even possible, but it happened. And both those games that the Angels lost, well, obviously, they lost. And I'm pretty sure they were both by 1 run against stupid things. But again, it all comes down to the pitching. You would not have had to go into extra innings, or you would not have had to lose by 1 run if you were able to pitch right. In the Astros, I believe, they got the hit, lost the game. And I think it was against the Rangers, bases fully loaded, extra innings. I am 99% sure it was the Rays, but you know what? Who cares? I don't care. They're all blurring into the same freaking game right now. You hit the pitcher, the game is over. I'm gonna get into the fundamental baseball stuff later, but as of right now, those are 2 series you could have potentially swept. In the long run, it doesn't really matter, but still, you could have swept both series. 2 extra wins, that would have been nice. Then we got the second Cleveland series. I just wrote a gigantic no. And then I just wrote all ball, no pee-pee. All balls, all pop-outs. What's that? Runners in scoring position. Guess where they were left? On base and scoring position. And then the last series, and you know what? I might as well even call the Yankees not the Yankees. I might as well even call the Mariners series at this point. but the series technically isn't over yet. They're currently lost the series, waiting to get swept. But the last series against the Yankees, oh sweet Mary Magdalene, this could have been a 1 series and potentially even a swept series. But here we go. So game 1, right? Game 1 of this godforsaken series. We win. Somehow we pull off a win against the Yankees. Know how? I didn't know it was impossible. It was on Goopy Tuesdays, so that was neat. Wednesday, there was an opportunity. But guess what? The problem arose again. We have no power in bats, and even then, we have no contact in bats. So we lose that one by 1 run. And then by game 3, everyone figured out, hey, the Angels just can't pitch, so let's just hit whatever they are able to throw inside. There's no freaking gimmicks in it anyways. They just absolutely have a field day. But it's okay because the Angles have bases loaded, and what do? They only score 1 on bases loaded, and it's from Willie Calhoun. And now I've come to enjoy Willie Calhoun, right? And we're getting into the actual talk about what's going on. You know, they lost the series. Way Mariners, don't even get me started. I hate that godforsaken franchise more than the Yankees. F the Mariners. I'm not getting it. Getting back on track. The problem right now is that this team just hasn't been able to play good fundamental baseball. Now you might be saying, hey, we've won more series this. We won 3 series this month. How many did we win last month? I don't care. Last month doesn't matter anymore. What matters is we are still making the same godforsaken mistakes that have lost us games. Sure, the pitching will take you deep. By the way, R.I.P. Reed Detmers. He's been sent to AAA. I have a D. Detmers freaking DH jersey that I love to death, even though it's too big for me. I'm sad, yeah, but it's for his own good. It's literally the core of the problem that there's no consistently good pitching. Like, Reed Detmers had like 3 good starts, that's it. Patrick Sandoval is kind of trying to get back up in there, but even then he still manages to fall short. Same goes for Jose Soriano. Now I get it. You know, there's slumps in baseball. You know, there's times where you just can't do anything, and the next day you wake up, bam, you're right back into it. I'm still waiting for Angels pitchers to wake up and get right back into it, because every single one of these pitchers has hit a slump harder than hitting a shot put ball with a freaking metal bat. It's hard. These guys just aren't capable of turning things around, and if they are, it's for 1 inning only, and the very next inning, they give up a run or 2. In worst case scenario, they load the bases and maybe only give up 1. Point being that the pitching just can't keep up with it. They just can't. I know, too, that everyone in that managerial office is trying their hardest to get everyone up and running. I know maybe Perry, but I know Ron is doing his absolute best with what he's been giving. It's literally that scene in the freaking Calling All Angels. What players? What do you, or Angels in the Outfield, whatever the stupid movie's called. It's like, these ain't no baseball players. It's literally Ron Washington right now. Ron Washington is literally doing the best that he can with freaking one man's trash is another man's treasure. That's the title of this video. Because we have brought more players that are ready to give up on their careers than I think any team in MLB. I mean, I don't remember which player it was that said they thought their career was over. I think it was a pitcher. But they said, oh, you know, I was ready to retire. And then the Angels were like, yeah, come over here. And they're like, okay. You want to know what happened to that fool? He got DFA'd. And you want to know what happened? He cleared waivers, and now he's on AAA. I can't freaking believe it. But yeah, we're pretty much picking up the trash of other teams and trying to mold them into players that we can utilize. And it's worked for some of them. And by some, I mean Kevin Mike Fishman Pillar, or Mike Pillar Fishman, and Big Willie Calhoun. boys, I have never seen a little meatball run that fast. I have been loving what Willie Calhoun has been doing on that freaking field. And sure, you know, he's kind of cooled off, but when you need him to hit something, he can still hit it. It's freaking awesome. But you have him, you have Pilar, you've got Guillorme now. Guillorme's kind of had some trouble hitting, but, you know, he kind of makes up for it in his fielding. But, you know, I don't really remember any of the pitchers that well. I know we got someone from the Pirates. And we picked up another player that was DFA'd from somewhere else. But you know, we're literally just going through. It's not even the bargain bin at this point. Because at least in the bargain bin, you could probably find an old copy of like freaking... I don't know. You can probably find a copy of like 80 for Brady for like 2 cents. Yeah, you can't say a lot for some of the other guys. But I don't know, man. I'm trying to make comparisons. I'm trying to think. I'm not talking enough baseball. But yeah, we're just trying to get a working team going with a lot of players that would probably have been better off retired. Except for, you know, Willie Calhoun and Kevin Pilar. Those two have really made an impact on this team. And I'm happy for them. You know, if we end up getting rid of them at the trade deadline because they actually did do good for some prospects, cool. And I really hate, I don't want to talk about it in this video, but I hate the idea of already getting into trade talks because we're so early into the season and we're sucking this badly. Like, I get it. You know, it's best for the team. It's best to just, you know, screw it, start from scratch now. But the problem is that this team has never announced a rebuild. This team will probably never announce a rebuild. And as long as Art Moreno is in there, unless that guy ends up freaking choking on a hot dog and dying in his freaking $1 million suite or wherever he's at when the games are on, there's probably never going to be a rebuild. And that's kind of upsetting. We're more than likely going to buy at the deadline again, being like 400 games out, which honestly isn't too bad because the AL West has been such absolute donkey this year. So who knows? That's pretty much about it. I just kind of wanted to run through the series, kind of give a brief overall. It really is a one man's trash, another man's treasure kind of month. We've picked up a lot of guys that have just not sufficed in other places, that have, well, not really found a home here, have found they found a couch to sleep on. And again, unless you're Willie Calhoun or freaking Kevin Pilar, you know, yeah, get comfy on that couch, because I can see Calhoun as the designated hitter every single game, and I can see Kevin Pilar taking Mickey Moniak's spot in any of the fields. And that kind of makes me sad, because I really liked Mickey Moniak last year. Joe Adell's, he's hit a bit of a slump, but I'm pretty sure he's going to bounce right back and hit more grand slams like he did against the Mariners the other night. So yeah, there's a lot of questions for when everybody comes back from injuries. Drury, Trout, Rendon, freaking all of the pitchers. Some of them are even back already. Michael Stefanik's hitting in freaking bombs in AAA. There's a lot of questions that are going to come out once everything is, you know, back to normal in Anaheim. But for now, oh sweet Jesus, man. For now, we just got to endure. I've never shut off a game so quickly. And then checked up on it on my phone immediately after. And then when freaking a grand slam got hit off of Reed. This is Reed Detmers, a dude that got a no-hitter. It's just baseball. Anything can happen. So, yeah. Well, that said, who knows what's going to happen to this team in the coming month. We're in June now. It's an AL slugfest with a bit of NL here and there. What I mostly fear is July, because I think July is going to be a bunch of AL West games. So that's really going to decide the standings for, you know, the second half of the season. But that's next month's problem. So yeah, that's May. That was May, all right. We won 3 series. 3. We won 3 out of 5 series. I mean, Could you ask for more? Yeah, you really can. But I'm not going to right now. Right now, I'm finally going to take a break. I'm just going to mentally prepare myself. If the Mariners sweep us, you'll know. And yeah, they're probably not going to be in the June update, so that's neat. With that being said, that was this month's Angels recap. It was mediocre. Honestly, it's just below mediocre. That's pretty much the season. And yeah, we'll see what other announcements get made. And I'll see you all next month for June's recap in July. Very nice.